What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new news video where we will talk about the Premier League and financial fair play punishments, because Nottingham Forest have been punished by a 4-point deduction after breaching financial fair play rules, after Everton got a 10-point points deduction for actually going over the spending limit by less amount than Nottingham Forest, but that got reduced to 6 points, and now everybody is waiting for Manchester City to get punished. And in this video we will take a detailed look at what kind of punishment Man City could get if Everton got a 6-point deduction, Nottingham Forest got a 4-point deduction, and Manchester City should get hundreds of points deducted because these clubs broke one rule each and they got a 4 and a 6-point deduction. So Man City, for breaking 115 rules, should get a lot more and a lot bigger punishment. So let me know, how do you see the financial fair play punishments going in the Premier League? So the penalties for Nottingham Forest are as followed: 3 points for a breach, 3 points for the amount of the breach, and they deducted 2 points from the punishment because Nottingham Forest actually cooperated with the Premier League. So totally they got 4 points deducted, which actually puts them in the relegation zone behind Luton Town. So this is very, very significant. Of course Nottingham Forest will appeal, but we don't know what the appeal will be. So let's look at Manchester City's case, because the Premier League's financial fair play regulations don't have a time limit, which actually got Man City out of UEFA's 2-year Champions League ban, and Man City got out of it because the rule breaking occurred more than 5 years before they got the 2-year ban. The Premier League has no time limit, unlike UEFA's financial fair play regulations, which have a statute of limitations of 5 years. And let's look at Manchester City's potential punishments, because Manchester City's case is a huge mess, and it is taking years to untangle that mess. It's a whole different ballgame. Francois Plateau is reporting that Man City are facing a bunch of charges, dragging out this whole legal process for what feels like forever, and that's deliberate. Man City and their lawyers want to drag this case out as long as possible. The trial is set to start sometime in the autumn of 2024, so Jurgen Klopp won't even be the manager of Liverpool when Manchester City will finally learn their punishment. And it would feel so unjust if Jurgen Klopp has only one Premier League title when Man City have won multiple Premier League titles ahead of Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, while financially cheating their way to success. If Man City are found guilty, they are in for a world of hurt. That's what Francois Plateau and other journalists are reporting. This case is massive, and even if Man City are only partially guilty, they could still face serious punishment, which could be relegation to the lower leagues, even to Championship, League 1, League 2, even non-league football. That's on the table. What's really not helping Man City's case is their refusal to cooperate with the investigation for about 4 seasons. Man City refused to cooperate with the Premier League in 4 seasons. I mean, if you are not guilty, and Man City are saying they are not, if you are not guilty, surely you would put all your evidence that you have that you are not guilty in front of the Premier League to clear your name and to actually show them that you are not guilty. Instead, what Man City are doing is trying to put as many hurdles into the investigation as possible, trying to delay the process as much as possible. I mean, that's what somebody does who is guilty, but that's just common sense. And what is very significant is that if there is a verdict and Man City gets seriously punished, they can appeal, but not to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Instead, an independent commission will handle the appeals process, consisting of 3 members chosen by the chair of the Premier League's judicial panel, who is Murray Rosen. In the event of an appeal, Rosen would appoint a new panel comprising of different members of existing Premier League appeal panel, which currently consists of 6 members, and the club is obligated to cooperate fully with both the Premier League's investigation and the Commission's procedures. Failure to comply will undoubtedly be viewed unfavorably. So actually, Man City not cooperating with the Premier League for 4 seasons in a row could actually make the Premier League punish them more and make them get an even more severe punishment than usual. If the Premier League has pursued this case this far, it suggests that they have not received satisfactory answers from Manchester City so far. And the Premier League is charging Man City with so many charges that, I don't want to list all of them, but the number of breaches within the first charge, and there is 5 different types of charges facing Man City. But the first type is failure to provide accurate and up-to-date financial information from the 2009 until the 2017-18 season. A number of breaches within this charge is 54, which is an absolutely staggering amount. The second type of charge is failure to provide accurate financial reports for player and manager compensation, so salaries and wages and bonuses from 2009 until 2018. The number of breaches within this charge is 14, which is a pretty huge amount. The third type of charge, Premier League charges Man City with the failure to comply with UEFA's regulations, including UEFA's club licensing and financial fair play regulations. Number of breaches within this charge is 5. The fourth type of charge is breaches of Premier League profitability and sustainability regulations from 2015 to 2018. Number of breaches within this charge is 7. And then the fifth and final type of charge is failure to cooperate with Premier League investigations from December 2018 until right now, to this day. Number of breaches is 35 and growing, because the Man City are still not cooperating with the Premier League's investigation, which I think says it all in my eyes, that they are guilty as charged. Because why would you not cooperate with the Premier League if you are so convinced that you are innocent? And Man City and Guardiola and all the Man City fans have been saying that they are innocent and they can prove that they are innocent. Then why don't you? Why don't you prove it? The Premier League has been investigating you for literally like 6 years. And you have not complied with their investigation. You have not helped them. Instead, you hinder them at every possible process. You are using all kinds of legal avenues, all kinds of lawyers you are paying to actually hinder the Premier League investigation, to delay the process, to drag this out as long as possible. And you just need to look at the timeline of events to see how this unfolded, because I think it's very interesting. So in November 2018, the German Der Spiegel newspaper releases multiple articles which you can still read to this day, accusing Man City of breaching financial fair play regulations, and they are leaking emails of Man City, chief executives talking about cheating financial fair play rules. In March 2019, UEFA launches an investigation on the back of Der Spiegel's findings. Man City then criticized the investigation in May of that year and initiated an appeal process, alleging that the entire procedure is adversarial. The Court of Arbitration for Sport rules that Man City's appeal is inadmissible in November 2019, citing UEFA's failure to make a decision on the case as the reason. UEFA announces a 2-year ban for Man City in 2020 and imposes a fine of 30 million euros. Man City successfully appeals to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, resulting in the club escaping a European ban. Consequently, Man City is now eligible to participate in European competitions. And then in February 2023, the Premier League charges Man City over alleged financial fair play breaches. The trial between the Premier League and Manchester City will begin in the autumn of 2024. Actually, a verdict is expected to be reached in the summer of 2025, which feels like a long time ago, long time from now. But I think probably Pep Guardiola will be gone if Man City are actually found guilty and they are relegated. But I would love to see Guardiola play in the non-league with Manchester City. I would love to see that. If Guardiola really is a man of principle, he would oversee Man City get promoted from non-league football back to the Premier League. But that would take literally like 5 years or something like that at the minimum. So yeah, I'm really interested to find out what will happen in case of Manchester City's financial fair play rules. And I think Liverpool won't get those titles back that we lost by 1 point twice to Manchester City under Jurgen Klopp, maybe even more titles we lost to Man City while they were cheating financial fair play rules. They lost in 2013-14 when this cheating was going on. Man City won the title ahead of Liverpool. That was the famous Luis Suarez season where Suarez scored 31 goals even though he was suspended for the first 4 games. And also the Premier League still cannot strike an agreement over who will fund the new deal to support the Football League and remain locked in talks with the threat of an independent regulator looming. And we will talk a lot more about that in the future. But first, let me ask you, what do you think about Manchester City's financial fair play rule breaking charges? What will happen to them? When will the Premier League finally announce a verdict? And also, what will their punishment be? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your opinion. So Premier League's clubs have a stalemate over this new £1 billion deal for the English Football League. The top 20 clubs of the Premier League, including Tottenham and Chelsea, met in London for 2.5 hours on Monday, but could not even get as far as taking a vote on a financial package. It turns the pressure up on the Premier League chief executive Richard Masters, who has been urged by the UK government ministers to reach an agreement or a new independent regulator will step in. And I'm not sure if I like this new independent regulator or not, but the things that they are mentioning, that more fans will be involved in club decisions, I like that part for sure. Because I think if a club wants to announce a whole new badge or a whole new kit, fans should have a say in that. And the way a club is run, the fans should have a say in that. Especially in the big decisions, not the small day-to-day decisions, but the really big decisions, fans should be heard on any club. And I really like the German model. I understand that in England that will probably never happen, but I really like the German model, that all German clubs, except maybe Red Bull Leipzig, I know that's not their name, but that's basically what Leipzig are. They are a franchise club of Red Bull, the company. So apart from them, all other German clubs are owned 51% by their fans. And I absolutely love that. And I would love that to happen in the Premier League. Because that way you basically are guaranteeing that nothing really awful would happen to the football club, like being owned by Roman Abramovich or Saudi Arabia or the United Arab Emirates. The whole country is owning football clubs, and having unlimited amounts of money is not how it should be in football. But that's capitalism for you. As long as, you know, the Premier League is getting a lot more money into the league, they don't really care about anything. But hopefully this UK government independent regulator will prevent that happening in the future, that the countries won't be able to buy football clubs. I mean, the Newcastle takeover shouldn't have gone through, but because Saudi Arabia has big weapons contracts with the UK government, it was allowed to go through. It's controversial to say this, but I will say it how I feel it. I think that shouldn't be allowed in English football. Countries shouldn't be able to own football clubs. But that's my opinion. Let me know what is yours in the comments below. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.